Since we created the classes and coded the relationships between them, we are creating the database from the code, or, as it is called, using code-first approach to database creation. Obviously, you could have the database created first and then emulate the classes based on that. But with code-first approach, we use our classes that we need to create anyway, so why not use them to create database from them too, right? If you did any work with Entity Framework, you are probably now ready to jump into NuGet Package Manager and start importing NuGets. And you're right, we are going to do just that. So next, let's import the ASP.NET Core middleware, and the power of .NET Core is in how modular it is. You could simply import only what you need, one thing at a time. However, since this is a course for beginners in .NET Core, let's import all of the .NET Core. As a beginner, you probably are not even sure what you need and what you don't, so by importing it all, you don't have to worry about if you are missing something or doing something wrong. You will know that all the libraries are in place, so if something is not working, it is a problem with your code, not a problem with a missing library. So let's go to Tools, then NuGet Package Manager, and Manage NuGet Package for Solution. By default, you already have some packages installed. In my case, I have 3 of them. This happened when we created the project. Now let's go to Browse. And the package we are looking for is Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.all. So this is the package we need. And I'm going to install the latest stable version, which in my case is 2.2.3. And you cannot see it on the screen, but you can see in the output window that it's installing everything, and here it is. We just simply confirm it as OK. We accept the licenses without reading them, of course, and everything is installed now. So let's check for the installed, and now it seems like we only have 1 installed, but that's because we still have Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.all in the search window. So when we remove it, now you see that we have 4 of the NuGets installed. And while we're here, we can actually uninstall the Razor Design NuGet. Why? Well, because we are creating an API and there won't be any Razor pages. Those are used for the user interface, which is not something that is part of the API here. Of course, once we start consuming the API, then that's a different case. But for this project, we don't need it here. So I'm going to uninstall it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if you left it. It really won't make any much difference, but this way I keep myself organized. Now if I move this up so you can see it, you can see that the packager is complaining that the Microsoft ASP.NET Core.all specified version 2.2.3, which is the newest version at this point, and it says that specifying the version of this package is not recommended. So this is not an error, this is just a warning, and we could just safely ignore it. Or we can go and remove the reference it's talking about. Now to remove the reference, we first need to build the project. So build, and now I'm going to right click on the tab and go to Open Containing Folder. This is the folder with the project files, and the one I'm looking for is inside the main folder, and it's called Book API Project.csproj. I'll right click it and I will open it with Notepad. You can see that the version reference is indeed there, 2.2.3. So I'll simply delete it. I'll grab the version, including the quotes, and delete it from the ASP.NET Core.all reference. So if you are following along, make sure you have the quotes correctly wrapped at the end of the word all. So there's beginner quotes here and ending quotes here. They have to be there. So that's it. I'll delete it. Now I'll simply save it. So Ctrl S. And we are good to go. I'll close that, I'll close this, build it again, and I have 1 successful build, and there are no complaints, no warnings at all. So now this is all we need. We do not need to import anything specific to Entity Framework because the .NET Core.all package already contains it. We have now everything we need to start working with Entity Framework, so let's go back to the code and configure what we need.